Glass etching always sounded like such a complicated process to me. I finally tried it, and you guys, this stuff is so easy to work with. And even with just picking up a few things from the Dollar Tree, it is amazing what you can do, and I am in love with this stuff. Here I have some self-adhesive stencils that I picked up at the Dollar Tree and a glass jar that I also grabbed while I was there. You can grab a pack of paintbrushes that you will be using for this, and also this Armor Etch cream that I have here. I purchased at either Michael's or Joann's, but you can grab it on Amazon, and I will link that down in the description below. Here I have decided to use the wheel from the sailboat stencil on this pack. And all you need to do is carefully peel it up from the backing sheet from here. And this is reusable, so we will be putting it right back on here when we are finished. And then find where you want it on your jar or whatever you are using as your blank to be etching on. I am going to try to get this centered the best that I can after securing all my pieces that are trying to blow away in the wind. And after you have it placed where you would like it, just make sure that you push it down and burnish it as much as you can. This is self-adhesive, so it is sticky. And I usually just start in the middle and work my way out to the sides, pressing this down as much as you can. You want this to stick to the glass as much as possible. If I'm using my Cricut and cutting out a vinyl stencil that I make myself, I will even take a hairdryer to this and just hit it with some heat to make sure that it's secured the best that it possibly can. You do not want any of these pieces coming up when you're using the etching cream. Now for this etching cream, you do want to consider safety first. I am outside, so I am well ventilated, but if you're in the house or in a certain room somewhere, you should make sure it's well ventilated. Even possibly wearing a respirator. This stuff does have an odor and it is toxic, so just keep that in mind. Also, probably should be wearing gloves, but I've been using this now for a while and I'm pretty confident that I will not get this on my hands. But if you are a beginner, please consider the safety first. Now with this etching cream, all you need to do is take a generous amount and rub it all over, or rather brush it all over the open glass areas. You want to make sure you keep it within your stencil lines. So if you're worried about that, go ahead and take some painter's tape and just tape off the edges around it. But you're going to cover this whole part here where the glass is showing with a good amount. Now don't worry about being wasteful, because at the end you do scrape this all back off and you can put it right back in your jar and use it again, which is what I love about this as well, because you can use this tiny little jar for so many projects and it just will last you a really, really long time. So go ahead and cover the entire thing, and then we are going to let this sit for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I like to come back in with my brush and just really move this etching cream around. I know this seems like an extra step and not many people do it, but I find that it just gives me better results every time. All I'm doing is pushing this down into those glass areas where the etching cream is working, and make sure that it's just getting in there really good. And after I do that over the whole thing, then I just kind of spread it back out to make sure it's all well covered. And I'm going to let this sit again for about 5 minutes. Did you all know that this etching cream can be used on things other than glass? I was surprised to know how many other things you could use it on. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on some of the other products that you can use this on. As I am brushing this back down into the glass, I am realizing that this brush is losing bristles like crazy. So, like I said in the beginning, you can scrape this right back in your jar, but I am not going to do that. I am going to forfeit this cream to the garbage. I do not need all those bristles in there, so I'm just going to wipe it off onto this paper bag and throw it all away with this brush. I have no use for brushes that lose their bristles. But this is where you would also be taking it and just putting it right back in that jar, and you can go ahead and use it again. With some warm water and a paper towel, I am just going to take this right to the sink and rub the rest of this off. And this stencil, like I said in the beginning, you can reuse. So when I am done washing off all this etching cream, I will carefully peel this stencil off of the glass and set it sticky side facing up so that it can dry completely. And then I will just add it right back onto that carrier sheet stencil pack that it came off of. And you guys, look at that. That is amazing. I am actually surprised that the Dollar Tree glass came out this well. Typically, I would add some silver coloring to this just to make it pop, but this actually is probably one of the best ones so far that I've done. So as you can see, all you need is a bottle of etching cream and a few things from the Dollar Tree, and you are well on your way to becoming an etching expert. Let me know how you like this, how it turned out. Is this something you're going to try? Drop it down in the comments and let me know.